This is everything I've done in 2024. It's quite a lot. Oh no. We're gonna go through it before it continues to fall apart on me. A little bit about this prized possession of mine. I started this memory board actually in April, so a little bit later into the year. And it mainly was because I wanted to see everything that I had done in one year and just have like a visual memory of things, because A, my memory is shit. B, I think it's so cool to collect these little mementos, because we are now at a point in time where like everything is digitalized, so we don't really get like tickets anymore. It's all on email or all on your phone. There's nothing physical left anymore. So when I do have things that are physical, I like to keep them. This also mainly started because when I was studying abroad last year in Paris, I started scrapbooking. I basically started putting down like everything that I did, every ticket I had. If I was bored doodling in class, like I would put that in here. When I have children later on, if I have children later on, I want to like give this to them. I want them to see like everything that I've done. I don't have a lot of hobbies. I'm gonna be so real. This also started because I wanted to start doing something where I could really put myself like in this zone. And when I am scrapbooking, I just put on music or like a podcast and I just completely zone out for like an hour or two. That's my spiel on why I started doing this. I highly encourage you to do it because it has brought me so much joy whenever I do something and I can put it up on the board. I'm like, oh my god, like can't wait to go home and like put this up. The goal with this was to fill it up in a year and then transfer it into a scrapbook, and that way I have like almost visual memories of every single year of everything I've done. If you're like me and it's like December and you start overthinking everything you've done in the past year and you're like, did I do enough? Was I productive? Did I accomplish the goals I wanted to? You're in this like hole of self doubt and you're like, what the fuck have I done with the past 12 months? I think this is a really good way to like pull yourself out of that, because you're like, okay, well, these are all the things that I have done and I have like literal evidence to prove myself wrong, because I am literally my worst critic and I beat myself about so many things in this little head of mine, and sometimes I just wanted to shut the fuck up, and this really shuts me the fuck up. This year was a really big year for me in terms of career and work. Just looking at this board, I feel like I worked with a lot of brands and did a lot of brand deals and met with a lot of people that were huge names for me. Like in the summer I did something with Miu Miu and they invited me to their brunch, and in my mind those high-end brands were like always reserved for like A-list celebrities, and they don't usually do like influencer work, and for them to invite me to their events and to dress me was like a really big moment, because I was like, oh my god, like it's kind of like when all the work you've been doing is like being recognized by someone that's like highly credible. You're like, holy shit, like maybe I do know what the fuck I'm doing. I got to meet so many people and form friendships at these events, and that goes for any of like these influencer events. Yes, like I'm in school and I am also a part of like this entire different world and industry where you definitely don't want to be alone in. Along with working with a brand like Miu Miu, this wristband, the Victoria's Secret fashion show wristband, holy shit, like I still think about that sometimes. Like before I go to bed, I'm like, I can't believe I was there. Like the Victoria's Secret fashion show, I'm sure you all know, like you know, we were all 9 years old watching those fucking angels walk down the runway and be like, wow, like that was our Roman Empire. Like that was what we waited for every single year, and it was like a tradition. And although it had a lot of negative implications watching those supermodels walk down those runways when we were like 9 years old, there was this other element of like girlhood, of like coming together and watching it and it being like a tradition, and I guess maybe suffering in the insecurity together. Just being invited to this was insane. Like I remember being so emotional and teary-eyed while watching the show, just because I was like, I didn't even think this was something that I could be a part of. Like and to be invited by the brand itself was like. And when the show ended and I was speaking to my friends who were there, we were all like, we can't believe that just happened. Like, that was a crazy moment. I think like this probably might be one of the peaks of this year, like I'm not gonna lie. Another wristband situation that I won't get over was the US Open. I went with Glossier and we had the most insane seats, you guys. We were sitting like front row, like the first row. It was against Djokovic and the underdog. I low-key forgot the underdog's name, I'm so sorry. And I went with Glossier, like one of my favorite brands to work with. Just literally one of my favorite brands, and they got like the best group of girls together, and we literally just had a blast, and we were just watching tennis for like fucking 5 hours, and it was just so, I don't know, it was so like, it was also a very emotional moment. I know I've been doing this a while, but I don't think I'm like at all desensitized to the events that I participate in and the things that I get to do. I'm very happy that I'm not desensitized to it, because I think when you do become desensitized, you sort of stop like appreciating these moments as much, and you're kind of just like, eh, whatever. It's still really fucking cool. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, yesterday I was literally at an Orbella event and I met fucking Bella Hadid. Like, I'm not over that. Like, I'm still not over that. Oh my god, how could I forget this? I love that we're continuing on a wristband wave. Coachella 2024, crazy town, because I saw one of my favorite artists perform, Lana Del Rey. She was someone that I wanted to see before I died, or before she stopped touring. Like, she was also my Roman Empire. I started listening to her when Born to Die came out, like Summertime Sadness. That was the start of like my Lana Del Rey era, and I think I was actually 8 years old. Not gonna lie and tell you I'm not a stan, because I fucking am. Like, I go crazy. Every time a new song came on, I started crying. And it wasn't even like, oh, like I want to stop crying. Like, I was like, yes, like I want to cry. Like, I want to let it all out. Even if it wasn't a sad song, I'm like, I'm still crying. I think I was just like, my body was in shock that I was like experiencing her live. If you look at my like Apple Replay Spotify Wrapped from 2012 to 2024, you will see that Lana Del Rey is my top artist every single year. There hasn't been a single year where she isn't my #1 artist. This is something really personal to me. Honestly, whenever I look at this mood board, my eye goes straight directly to this card, and it's from my best friend Daniela. She wrote, "Just to cheer you up a little, I love you." I was having a very rough day, or like just a very rough week, and I obviously was venting to her and ranting to her. And one day I came home and there was a flower delivery, and it was from her, and I was just like, wow, that is just like such a sweet thing to do. Like, you know those moments in like a relationship where you can pinpoint, like, that's the moment I started like loving you or whatever. Obviously I loved her way before this, but like this was another moment where I was like, damn, like this person is gonna be in my life forever. Like, I am willing to do whatever it takes to keep this friendship alive and like to keep it going. And it was just like another, I want to say, like, what's the word, like mark, I don't know, it made me super happy, and it made me feel heard and seen, and had this very intense moment of gratitude to have someone like that in my life. And yeah, so that went up on the board, obviously. This was also so very special. This was the cork bottle from my champagne on my 21st birthday. Me and my friends went to Florida for spring break, and my birthday always falls on spring break, which is kind of nice because I'm not in school for it. But yeah, we went to Florida, we went to Palm Beach, and we were having a girls' night, and it was just so cute. We got all ready, we went downstairs, we bought a bottle of champagne and a cake, and I popped it, and it was so fun. Like, it was just like a cutesy moment. Obviously this wasn't my first time drinking, but it was my first time popping a bottle of champagne on my own. I'd never done that before, so I kept the little cork bottle. This was very important to me. My I voted sticker. This was the first time I voted in the United States, because we as in my family, didn't become citizens, I want to say, until 2019. Granted, we did not achieve the results we wanted to, unfortunately. Please ignore the color I'm wearing and pretend this is blue. It was cool to see like how it was set up and to do the whole thing. Like, I don't know, I was very like excited that day. Like, I woke up at 8 in the morning, like ready to wait in line. It was actually a very easy process for me. Like, there was no line. I went straight in, showed them my ID, got the ballot, and then that was pretty much it. Like, filled it out and then put it in. Like, it wasn't as big of a deal as I was making it in my head, but I was excited because I was like, yay, like I get to do this now. I've never been able to do it before. These two restaurants have been my favorite restaurants I've tried this year. The first one is called Da Toscana. It's in New York, and it's an Italian restaurant, and shout out to my sister for introducing it to me, because it's so amazing. If you live in New York, you must go. Make your reservation like 2-3 weeks in advance. My second favorite restaurant that I tried this year was Mandolin, and this was in Miami. This restaurant was spectacular solely because it was the closest I was going to get to authentic Turkish food in America. Like, when I tell you, they knew what they were doing. I'm pretty sure some of the chefs back there were Turkish or they had like lived in Turkey, because they knew what Turkish food was supposed to taste like. I had lahmacun and it was amazing. If you're ever in Miami, please fucking go here. It's amazing. This is a Polaroid of me, Sarah, my manager, and then another manager at Portrait, Paula. In the beginning of the video, I said I had a really big like work and career year where a lot of exciting opportunities coming my way, and I couldn't have done this without Sarah and Paula and Portrait. I switched to Portrait maybe like a year and a half ago, almost maybe 2 years ago. It was truly the best career decision I ever made in my life. Being a Portrait girl, like, wow, changed my life. Like, I love those girls to fucking death. They are all boss ass bitches. Like, they are baddies. We are literally a management filled with baddies. That goes for the talent, that goes for the managers, that goes for any other person that works for Portrait. It's literally just like a team of baddies with amazing personalities, so smart, so creative, so ambitious, and just so like powerful. And being a part of a community like that is so inspiring. I can't wait for 2025 and to see all the new things that we do together as a team. I'm just super grateful to be working with them. The other stuff are kind of just like random knickknacks that I put, like coat check things from like events that I don't even remember from what. This is a concert ticket from the Charlie XCX Troye Sivan Sweat Tour. Wow, I had a great time. A great way to wrap up Brat Summer, because this was at the end of September. Oh my god, this is funny. This is from the solar eclipse. That was such like a big moment. I think like in that week, everyone was talking about it and they're like, the solar eclipse, but it was like pretty underwhelming. Nothing really happened because New York City wasn't in the like, what was the word they used, like where it gets completely dark. It was pretty cool. I guess it was like another moment where everyone was outside like looking at the same thing, trying to like be a part of the same experience. I can't wait to transfer all of these into a scrapbook and make it cute, and I think that's what I'm gonna spend like pretty much most of January doing. It's something to look forward to, and I can't wait to see what 2025 looks like visually. Before I end this, I do want to say thank you to you, because there would actually be nothing on this board if it wasn't for you watching this video, following me on Instagram, or engaging with my content, or just being a part of this journey with me. YouTube is where I started this journey, and I keep coming back to it. This is what makes me happy, and I want to continue doing it. Happy holidays and happy new year. I cannot wait for 2025. Be with your family, be with your friends. Please be safe and stay sexy. As always, I will see you in 2025.